Hello, and welcome to the Torah Outreach Program, Areya Burst of Inspiration. Today's Burst of Inspiration is sponsored by the Raczkowski family, Liluy Nishmas, Sorah, Rivkah, Bas, Yehuda, Areya, Lieb, Mrs. Reva Raczkowski, whose Yaar Tziet is the third day of Kislev, which is this coming Tuesday. May the learning that comes from this video be a tremendous merit for her very special neshama. We have a famous story in this week's Parsha. Yaakov has sheepskin put around his arm, puts on Esav's clothing, comes in disguised as Esav so that he can get the blessing from Yitzchak that he rightfully deserves. When he speaks, Yitzchak is a little suspicious. He says, Akol Kol Yaakov. The voice is the voice of Yaakov. But when he touches his arm and he feels the hair, but the hair is the hair of Esav, or the hands are the hands of Esav. Yaakov and Esav were brothers. I know my brother and I sound exactly alike. What was it, the kol, the voice, the sound, the words? No, it was not the physical voice. It was the expressions. It was mentioning God's name. Esav didn't do that. But these hands, that feels like Esav. So Yaakov either knowingly, Yitzchak either knowingly or not knowingly, just set the tone for all of history. When he said, Hakol Kol Yaakov, the voice, the words, the expression, invoking God's name, praying to God, that belongs to Yaakov. That belongs to his people, the Jewish people, known as Bnei Yisroel. Yisrael is another name for Yaakov. King David, centuries later, wrote about this when he said, Eila Berechev, there are those who fight with chariots. Ve'eila Basusim, there are those who fight with horses. V'anachnu, what do we fight with? Hashem Hashem Elokeinu Askir. We fight with God's name. Our prayers are what gives us success. Our Torah learning, the use of the mouth, the use of the kol, which means voice, that's our power. Esav, yeah, that's yadayim, physical. War, fighting. Do we have to go to war? Do we have to go through the motions? Yeah. But we have to understand that that's not the success. The success is the prayer that is behind it. This was never so obvious, at least in recent history, as the last couple of years. Looking back over the war that, God willing, is over, we see so many miracles that happened through prayer. When the war started, it was a holiday. We didn't know. A lot of people around the country didn't know. And we suffered terribly. And then it got around. And the Jewish people around the world started praying like never before. And there were miracles day after day. So much so that the army themselves recognized it. And they sent a request to us outside the land of Israel, especially in America. They said the time differences are very crucial. We've noticed that we have most of our losses at night, when the people who are not in the army are not praying or learning Torah, they're sleeping. It's the middle of the night. We need you, our brothers in foreign countries, in America, in places where you're 7 hours behind us, 8 hours behind us, whatever it is. We need you to pick up the slack and to pray when they're not, and to learn Torah when they're sleeping. And this was done. And we saw miracles. We saw victories that were uncanny, unmatchable. We saw victories in Iran. We saw victories with Hamas. We saw victories with Hezbollah. And we can very easily trace all of them to the Torah learning and prayer that came from the mouths of our people. Eile Berechev, there are those who fight with chariots. Today you can call them missiles. Ve'eile Basusim, and those who use horses, tanks. V'anachnu, Hashem Hashem Elokeinu Nazkir. We use God's name. We pray. We learn Torah. Hakol Kol Yaakov. The voice, the words, the expressions of God's name. That's our power. Shams.